All right, welcome back. And let's talk about this coaching excellence and the tricycle effect. Drawing on my experience of what I've learned about character, competence, and courage over the last 40 years in business, military, and education, I'm going to share some of my story and how it's all intertwined with the concept of the tricycle effect and the idea of being coachable, or what I call coachability. I want to make this practical for you so you can apply it to your own life and leadership. I've had some unique experiences growing up in Venezuela, then coming back to Minnesota, and then my time in the Air Force, including my time in Turkey. I was even in charge of IT for the entire country. It was during those years that I had some eye-opening experiences, like the time I climbed Mount Ararat with a team of non-technical climbers. I was even non-technical, so it was an amazing experience. We had to deal with altitude sickness, hypothermia, and the threat of terrorists. That climb really taught me the meaning of true teamwork and how high-pressure situations reveal real character. But even before that climb, and even before the Air Force, I had been coaching for many years. I coached in high school and college, and my wife and I have been coaching gymnastics for over 45 years now. Coaching isn't just about the technical skills, it's about developing character. And this is where my idea of the tricycle effect comes in. Think of a tricycle. The front wheel is the character skills wheel, and it drives everything. It has all the spokes like trustworthiness, respect, responsibility, fairness, caring, loyalty, empathy, integrity. You need to coach those character skills in yourself and in others. These are skills that you can improve with practice. Most people think personality and character are the same, but they're not. The personality that we had when we were between 3 and 5 years old is still the same personality we have today. Oh yeah, we can cover it up better. We put on a face or a facade. We can make it look different, but that personality is still the same. However, character skills are coachable. If we want to be able to have more respect, we got to practice respect. If we want to be more caring, we have to practice care. We want to be more trustworthy, we got to practice trust. Does that make sense? The back two wheels are the balance about the tricycle. One wheel is technical skills. So in this case, maybe can you do a podcast like we're doing now, bake a cake or drive a car? The other is people skills, what a lot of people call soft skills, leadership, communication, teamwork. And then there's the seat of courage. That's the seat where you make the right decisions at the right time for the right reason. I used to use a three-legged stool to illustrate this concept, but the tricycle is much better because it's not static. It moves. It's dynamic, right? The pedals are connected to the character wheel, which is the front wheel, and that's what drives direction and momentum. Think about it. The pedals are connected to the front wheel. The handlebars are connected to the front wheel, so you get your direction and your momentum from that front wheel. But I believe that most people have the back two wheels out of balance. They often have a huge technical wheel, a decent people skill wheel, and an almost non-existent character skill wheel. We see people chasing after success and forgetting about significance. Let me say that again. I see people every day chasing after success, meaning those back two wheels of competence lead to success, but they forget all about the character skill wheel, which is all about significance. And that's where the idea for my second book, Coachability, came from. I wrote Coachability because I realized that many leaders lack the humility to be coached. And did you know humility is a character skill? That ability to be vulnerable, but yet be the leader. The book focuses on coaching yourself first, coaching others, and being vulnerable enough to allow others to coach you. The first person we need to be able to coach is ourselves, of course, but most people don't know that. I had an experience that showed this when I met a parent from a gym. I thought we were going to connect, and he called me disgusting because he had heard me on the radio talking about character. Well, I had a choice. Do I react or act? I chose to act. I pretended I hadn't even heard what he said and carried on a conversation because I wanted to lead by example, especially for his biological daughter who was standing there listening to me. And since she was my gym daughter, I wanted to make sure that she saw my actions as being congruent or in sync with character skills that I had taught her in the gym. So it's all about these character skills. And if you practice character skills, you can make them character habits. They're so ingrained, meaning habits are so ingrained over time that you act instead of react. A lot of people confuse, as I said before, character with personality, but character is a skill you can develop and grow. If you want to be more respectful, you practice respect. If you want to be more caring, you practice care. Getting it? There's also this idea of self-talk, self-coaching. You have to flip negative scripts and focus on what you want instead of what you don't want. I also draw on my experience in wrestling where I visualize my matches. I never wrestled a match without actually visualizing myself winning the match before I stepped onto the mat. You can use that same power of visualization to see what you want to be, do, or accomplish in life. And here's the thing. Businesses are the same way. Yeah, we often chase after success, which is the technical skills and the people skills. Remember the back two competence wheels on the tricycle? The character wheel, on the other hand, is the significance wheel. It's about adding value to other people. You have to build that emotional bank account by doing the right thing for the right reason at the right time. I saw this in action when I was in Turkey. One of my airmen came to me and told me about a family that he knew who was suffering because the landlord had turned off their heat in their home and it was the middle of winter. Well, without even really thinking about it, I didn't ask for anything or want anything. I just went and got him a kerosene heater, and the results of the morale skyrocketing was amazing. My point is that character is not just a nice to have, it's essential for leadership. I was very pleased when John Maxwell updated his book and retitled chapter number 3 in Developing a Leader Within You 2.0 from integrity to character. And he even says character is the foundation of leadership. So I want to encourage you today to focus on that character wheel in your life. What are the character skills that you're developing and growing for yourself so you can be significant for others? You could ask yourself some questions. Number 1, am I leading with character skills first? Since character is the foundation of leadership, I've got to build those character skills so I build a strong foundation to be a great leader and be not only successful, but significant for others in life. Number 2, am I focused on adding value to others or just the bottom line? We see too many people going after, meeting their quotas or trying to make more money, but not really focusing on how do I add value to the lives of those that are either in my company or that I touch on a daily basis, right? And number 3, am I making decisions out of fear or faith? And fear a lot of times holds people back from being able to reach their potential. If you want peak performance in your life and you lay a foundation of character skills, it's been shown statistically that the C-level executives that lead with character first actually have a greater return on their investment in their companies. So, bottom line is you have to be open to be coached. You got to be vulnerable and focus on acting, not reacting. That's how we build a truly balanced and effective life and business, and that's how we can build a character culture in every company, in every family, and within each person, wherever they are, so that they can flourish. All right, with that said, live, love, and lead. Tricon.